is Bold TV.
Good morning to you, wherever it is you are viewing beautiful, outstanding ladies with disabilities this beautiful Saturday morning, right here on Bold TV, streaming live from your Facebook and YouTube channel. We come to you every other Saturday with interesting topics as it concerns and affects us as women and girls with disabilities in Nigeria and beyond. And today is not going to be an exception. I am your co-host for today, Oluwatomisin Adeyefa. I'm a broadcast journalist, a visually impaired person, a disability inclusion facilitator, digital marketer, a copywriter, the executive director of Popular Abilities Initiative for Women with Disabilities, and a member of Bold Hearts Initiative, also a co-host on Bold TV. And I have with me my fellow co-hosts. The others are on should we say sabbatical? But I have Osaki here. Good morning, Osaki, and please introduce yourself.
Hello, good morning, lady. Not ladies this time, it's just you and I. Good morning, Lady Tomisi. Good morning, online audience. Good morning, wherever you are. Good morning. I'm Osaki Teresa George Ritaria. I reside in Port Harcourt, River State, precisely. I'm a polio warrior, a disability rights advocate, a member of Bold Heart Initiative. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad. So when I heard your portfolio is just too long, I'm like, maybe you want to ask my this your dad. Oh my God. It's interesting. I admire you so much. Well done. Thanks for making me one of your co-hosts today.
Thank you very much, my partner on the show today. And we're going to be having some very interesting conversation between you and I. We're going to be informing, we're going to be educating and entertaining our viewers, just like we always do when we come regularly on Bold TV. Please, if you'd like to be a part of Bold TV, whether you want to come on the show as a resource person, as a guest, or you like to support us, to see that the show continues to air every Saturday, every other Saturday of the month, of the year, please do so. Reach out to any of the co-hosts, Freki, Andrew, SCN, Afiong, Etim, Oge, Florence Marcos, Osaki Teresa, George Will, Tyra. Let me not forget that, really. And myself, Oluwatomisin Adeyefa. And we'll be glad to have you talk to us about what you like to offer on the show. So today on the show, Osaki, our conversation is about, we want to talk about what is it like to be married as a woman with disabilities? How do you handle challenges in your relationship as a married woman with disabilities? And I know you are a new bride, but trust me, being a day, even a week in marriage is enough to talk about your experience. I'm also married, and next week I'll be about 2 years married by next week, God willing. So, it's something that I'm sure we could share in our wealth of experience and, our wealth of knowledge from other people's experiences, and educate as well as inform, while also entertaining our guests or our listeners, our viewers out there. So, first and foremost, let me ask you, as a woman with a disability, have you ever thought about it, while growing up, in your teenage years, in your youthful years, that, I'm going to get married one day, and you have a specification? Another way you will also answer that same question is, were your specifications met? When they say what I ordered versus what I got. So what was what you ordered? What was it versus what you got?
Okay, thank you very much, Thomas. This topic is very sensitive and interesting. It's a topic that people will really want. It's a topic that people really want to listen to, like, really, with disability, can they marry to? Is marriage for them? Honestly, I wouldn't like to. As a young girl, because I've had disability all through my life, so it's not like it just happened. It's all through my life. As a young girl, as a child with disability, girl child for that matter, marriage wasn't in the line. Honestly, I wasn't, not really like there was any fear. I wasn't just there. I was just thinking of how I'm going to cope, survive. But most times, because I grew up in a home where children with disabilities were trained. So the Reverend sisters, I always, if we didn't behave well, and they want us to work with our crutches or whatever aid you work with. She will not say, is it how you're going to walk scattered with your husband? Then you should keep the crutches where, keep your legs straight, walk one step at a time, because we like jumping. She will say nobody jumps. There's only animal that jumps. That you have to put your legs, your 2 feet on the floor. And she will not say, if your children are around you, is it you're going to walk? You're going to occupy the whole space trying to move? No. So she keeps on putting marriage in between our life. Like, what does she mean? I want to get married Sunday. Children marriage was the last thing. You're talking how to cope, how to go to school, how to just enjoy your life. And she keeps on saying, you can't leave this house where? Your husband's house, how are you going to cope? So somehow she keep on putting marriage in between our training. So we're like, okay, it's true. One day, so we start getting older. Into teenage, we're like, it's true. I think one day I will get married. Am I going to do things? How will I do it that it will be okay for me and my partner? And that's a serious challenge. When I get to adulthood, at my early age, I was scared of marriage. I won't lie, because of seeing other kind of marriage was not really the Cinderella kind of marriage we grew up to. I think most of us that grew up in the 80s or late 80s were used to the Cinderella story, Prince Charming, Prince this, Prince that. So you have so much. My husband should be dark, should be tall, should be this, should be that.
Handsome, 6 pounds.
I tell you, come and save me from one danger or the other. A lot of things. They're like, this is the kind of man I want to marry. And I didn't really have the cocoa of, it's not all about the physical things the guy should have. What about the interior life of the person, So in that regard of what I request, of what I think I got better. Yes. Maybe but that what I order. He might not really have that physique I used to crave for as a child. But when I get older, I notice that this physique doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Is this person, the attitude, what was the interest of the person about me? What is the saying about me? How do I perceive this person? What can I make out of this person? What can he make out of me? All of that, the sacrifice. How much can I sacrifice? How much can he sacrifice? Because marriage, just to cut it short, is sacrifice. 2 people coming together to cope, to live. So at the end of the day, I will say I got better than what I ordered for. Yes.
And congratulations to you.
If I say, what does she mean? I'm just telling you from own experience that I got better than what I ordered for. So I'm just few months old in marriage, but it's beautiful. I think I love it and I enjoy it, and I want to still be married. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Osaki, for sharing that with us. Like you rightly said, it's a sensitive topic and also interesting. I was at a disability inclusion training where we went to create awareness on disability and all of that. And someone amongst my audience stood up just a Black Friday to say that he knows an elderly man who is with a disability who hasn't gotten married, is of age, in fact, is more than the age where people would think that you should be married at this particular age, and is yet to be married. And she was asking, what can they do to actually make this person married? And that's the case with a lot of persons with disabilities. Women with disabilities are also under that pressure many of the times. And some of us, we just want to get married. We just want to be we just want to have somebody to call a husband, and we really don't pay attention to details, like we said. In my own case, in fact, getting married for me, like I said, I'll be 2 years in a couple of days, and getting married for me, as a child, I wasn't thinking of it until I lost my sense of sight. I became blind, and I would hear family members whisper that maybe they should just let me be. Perhaps a man will come around someday, one day, and get me pregnant, and I can have children that would in turn take care of me. That was the picture that was painted for me. And so that's when I began to pay attention to marriage as something that, is this what I want for my life? Do I really want somebody to just give me belly? Is this how I want it to end? And so I wanted to be able to make a choice. I wanted to be able to choose the kind of man I move or get married to. And so if I say that's one of my motivation for wanting to do better at the time, I think my hopes or my reasons are valid for wanting that, actually. So I grew older, but one of the things I used to tell myself I wouldn't do as a young person was to find love on social media. But fortunately, I met my husband on social media. So
Wow.
exactly. I mean, growing up, I said no. I would, not reply to messages on social media. I would talk to anybody on social media. It always ended with you liking or commenting on my post. If you come to my DM, I won't even respond. And if I am going to respond, I am going to be very rude. So that's another hurdle that I crossed. I met my husband on social media. And like Osaki as well, if I'm going to say what I ordered versus what I got better. In fact, at the time I was going to get married, I wasn't even ordering, so to speak. But I mean, God sent him my way, and I saw that, this is somebody I would like to spend the rest of my life with. The feeling was just there. I had that feeling. He had the feeling. We had the conviction, and we are married. And today, like I said, we're going to be 2 years, and I don't think we are renewing anytime soon. Like, it's just going to be there. And yes, and we're going to continue to enjoy ourselves. However, Osaki, that's not to say that even marriages of 10, 15 years, 1 week old marriage do not have challenges. And, many challenges are the challenges of being married. You have the challenge of two people coming together from different backgrounds. You have emotional challenge, maybe one person being more matured or less matured than the other person. You have the challenge of trust. You have the challenge of finance. You have the challenge of family. You have work. You have so many, sexuality and all of that. All of these are challenges of marriage. We're not going to go into that. But how do you, as a woman with disability, navigate challenges? I mean, I know some people that will blackmail their spouse that, Shebi, you know that I cannot walk. Shebi, you know that I cannot see. Didn't you see me like this before you married me? Is that the right way to approach challenges in relationships, especially marital relationships?
Okay, thank you very much, Thomas. Okay, they'll say there's not there when there is a good side, there's also a bad side. Okay, challenges. I think challenges are, I don't even know. It's a daily routine, But I think my husband is more patient than me. He has the gift of patience. I think he knows how to endure things. Me, on the other part, I'm a quick speaker, and I have more temper than him. But what we do, like, okay, we go to two different churches. So can you imagine? I'm a Catholic. He a Pentecostal. It goes to his winners. I know that book about disability. I'm just diving small. Imagine two different churches.
Yes, I mentioned it earlier too, that there are quite a lot of challenges that married people go through. Quite a lot.
Yeah. So somebody will say, this man said, disabled girl, and she's not going to his church. How they coping? Do you know what that means? I just told him from the onset that it was even him. He said he's not here to convert me. I'm like, wow, really? Some men are dominant. They say, no, this girl was my church. Far from it. He said, no, you have to convert me. If anything I want to go to church, fine and good. If I don't want to, I can do what I'm doing. The whole idea, we sat down and talked about issues. And we didn't put religion as the fourth. As said, marriage is first, and religion comes. So we don't put the church to say, I have this service or I have this mass. No. When it's time for mass or service, we all know that, okay, like on Sundays, me, I go for the early mass, which is 6:30. He goes for 9:10. So I go and come back and wait and prepare the things we have to prepare. And when he comes back, food is ready. And even if I'm going for 10 o'clock mass, he will go and come back and wait for me and even prepare for me. I will eat and come back whenever I come back. So the challenges that we talk about, anything that will give us challenge and say, how can you cope with this? How do you cope? Like most times when I'm going out, for a year now, I don't drive due to some reasons. So whenever I'm going out, I know I use crutches. There's no way I can carry my bags. I can't carry anything. I don't even have to measure once it's a little bit heavy. So it's him. He will carry it. He will carry it to the junction where I will now get a cab, or I'll get keke, or I'll get a bike, whatever means I'm going to use. He just knows that, okay, I'm here to carry these things for you. Just in his brain, in his mind, I just felt that God planted him because in his brain, he knows that I'm to assist this lady. And in my own mind, I know that I'm here to assist this guy. So in our both mind, we are here to assist each other. to make the marriage work. And at the end of the day, to gain salvation too. So we are not at each other's back or why. The why is not so important, but we are more of solution. How do I cope with this? So if when it comes to cooking, you don't even share it. Anybody that is stronger that you know you can does the cooking, even does the house chores. So it's most of us are proud of the time that you this your marriage, just enjoying. You're not doing anything. I said, who told you I'm not doing anything? Who told you? I do some of the things I can do in my own way. And he does. Most times you see him doing more because he has the physical strength and physical capability. But I have the ideas, the money making, the ideas of let's do this, let's do that to work, you know, and all of that works. When I just say let's do that, it works, and we can generate an income. And he does the physical market, and he has his own idea of money making too. But it comes in both ways. So we just manage to see how, of course, we will quarrel, but we don't quarrel personal quarrel. There's this type that we to argue, say, do you want to leave the marriage? You know, supposed to like, what are you? So I know of friends like plan for the future, like in the marriage, you're still planning your own future. What do you mean? I plan to leave the marriage.
You should be planning your future together. Like you should be planning the future together.
Yes. So we don't have that future of what if he leaves me or what if I leave him. There's no, how do we move from point A to point B? What's our next project? What's our next plan? Where do we go from here? So we try to see how we can solve each other's problem. Like we'll try not to make anything, because most times I use crutches and I can't do anything physical, like carrying or even in kitchen too. If it is cooking, I just sit down there and just with him. And he does all the cooking, everything, and clean up and bring the food to the table and we eat. He still carried it back. He's happy doing it. There's this joy. Even the truth is that even though he didn't marry me, even though he married a lady with disability, he will still serve her. So he sees himself like he is born to serve. And me, I see that this guy. So it's like we are competitive with to help each other more, to serve each other more. That's the idea of how we could cope these few months we've stayed. So there's no security. I still respect him as the man and the head of the house and let him have that ego, which is okay. But not competing with him that I'm doing feminism or I'm the woman or I'm the man. No. Let him be the head. Let him be the decision. I put in my decisions and we wait. You understand? You wait the decisions.
We have a conversation.
One is more profitable in the marriage? So we wait which one is more profitable in the marriage, which idea that will suit the marriage. Not we try to avoid the social norm. You know, there's this how a man should behave. No. That's not
exactly. That's the societal dictates of being a man or a woman.
Social media influence. No. We don't put that. Media. We don't put our life on this. No way. We are out of social media. We are realistic. What should be done? What can? How can I do to promote the other person? So that's how so far manage to cope. If he's in the other one, I'm standing watching him, or I can assist him. If I cannot, to just or quarrel by it. And we settle it as much as we can. Yes. Try not to make the argument too deep. You know.
Hey. Yeah, I'm with you.
So that's how we cope. Try not to allow the sunset over an anger. Or most times, once there's an argument, somebody has to win. Either I let him win, or at times he let me win. I will leave it at that. You know. So that's how I could manage. We could manage the marriage so far, and so far it's been working. And again, we do a lot of prayer. Yeah, morning prayer, between prayers, night prayers. The God factor, it's what is really, really helping us. So we see that one as the paramount. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So what I can deduce from what you've just said, I can deduce communication, I can deduce respect for one another, I can also deduce, putting God in all that you do, and I can also deduce mindset shift. So when you don't see the other person as slaving or someone that should slave for you because you're a woman with disability, because you're a man with disability, when you see them as a support system for you, and you also reciprocate that support system that you are getting from them. And these are also things that apply to me as well. I'm a conversationist. A lot of times, even when we have issues, my husband doesn't want to talk about it. He just wants to keep quiet. But me, I will force you to talk, because I feel like when we talk about issues, we're able to resolve them. We may not have a 100% resolution. Nobody comes to face issues in marriage and you expect to go away with 100. No, you have to be able to compromise, you have to be able to shift, you have to be able to make sacrifices, and that's also another thing that works for me. Third party, because it's something that I have learned over the years, that as husbands and wives, when you have disagreements and then you allow third party all of the time, trust me, that marriage would soon be eating the rocks. But when you're able to sit down and have conversations, even when you now have third party, there are times that not all what the third party says is agreeable to the both of you. But you're able to pick 1 and 1 here, 1 and 2 there, and then pick it together and adapt it to suit your own relationship, because different strokes for different folks. What you can do in another marriage, for instance, what Osaki can do in a marriage and get away with it, I may not be able to do it in my marriage and get away with it. So if Osaki is advising me, she's advising me on her own point of view, from her own experiences, from her own thoughts. It may not be applicable to who I am married to. So even when people are advising you, you should learn to sieve it and pick the ones that makes meaning to you as a woman with disability, and also not using your disability. Sometimes my husband says, there's somebody that does not have a disability. So I'm not saying it like, because I have a disability, that's why you have to do this thing. If I didn't have a disability, of course, wouldn't you help your wife? Wouldn't you help me in the kitchen if I need help? Wouldn't you help me, wouldn't you still drive me around, even if I don't have a disability? So it's not all about playing the disability card all of the time. It's not all about playing this disability card when you have disagreements. And so, just like Osaki has also said, communication is very, very important, and trust. I remember when I was planning to get married and I was, having a conversation with someone, and the person said, why do you want to get married to somebody who is not blind? And I said, well, I love him, he loves me, and I think we're good. And then the person said, what if he cheats on you, brings a woman home, and then because you cannot see? I said, I see that I cannot see. It's not like I'm stupid though.
My sister.
We see that I cannot see. It's not like I am dumb or stupid. So basically, trust is very, very important. Imagine if I had that kind of mindset that, if I'm getting married to somebody who can see, definitely he can sneak in a woman into our home and then, start doing all of those things. So trust is also one thing that as a woman with disability, you should have towards your partner. There's no point getting married to somebody you cannot trust. There's no point. It's not worth it. So at the end of the day, trust is very, very important. And Osaki, to my very last question as we close for today. Okay, so other women out there who are looking forward, who are, looking at it like, someday I also want to be married. I want to have a man of my dreams. I want to be able to say I am married, I have kids, I have a home, I have a family. And this is not to say that those who decide not to get married fall short of that line of being human or being, responsible people. I just believe that these things come, and, as human beings, we have the liberty to make choices that would definitely suit us at any particular time. But for those women, especially the younger women or even older women who are looking forward to getting married, what would be your parting shots for them?
All right, thank you very much, Tommy. Okay, what I will say to the woman out there with a disability or without a disability, I think I would say marriage is not the only way out. Like to say, once you're married, perfect, it's finished, nothing to do again. Like they'll say a girl's life is after they give birth to her, primary school, secondary school, university, or is get a job, marriage, full stop. No other thing of credit to pursue or to have an independent or have a fulfilled life. Marriage is part of it. It comes good. It doesn't come, still fine. So like when I even got married, because I will say I'm not the early marriage type. I think I got married almost like I would say mid. So it's not early, but it's not too late at the same time too. It's not the early 20s kind of marriage. It's still on like when you might say it's late, but not even late, but just the mid. So at that point, I was not really what even happened, Seth? I just say, well, I think I like my life because I was comfortable. I was comfortable and I was fine. So I wasn't really pushing that much. So at that point, I was not into any relationship. I said, okay, God, I just want to serve you and have my life and see how far I can push my life to be independent, self-comfortable. That was when the man came. So at this point that I was not too marriage. I know in my late 20s and early 30s and also late 30s, I was like, I want to get married. But I was like, what is it? Is marriage everything? So I just looked the marriage. I was just focusing on life as life it should be. That was when the marriage came. So, and now I've already had value for myself. You understand? So I wasn't scared. Like this one is coming to take from me, or it's coming to depend on me, or I'll be a slave to him. All of that was not in my mindset. It was clear. So just have value for yourself and think of the value you're going to give to the next person, be it a man or a woman. Do you understand? Your next door neighbor, what's the value I'm going to add? Okay, if I'm going to get married, the man that's coming my way, what is the value I will add in the man's life? And what's the value I have for myself? So those are the things I had in my thoughts. So when the marriage came, it was just okay. It was nothing to expect too much or nothing too less to say I'm not worthy or I'm having self-esteem. No. Keep yourself prepared. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't come, still fine. Still have the fulfilled life you're to live, that you're going to have, and still serve your God. God is the most important you can have. And also just to put out there, so women will be asking, also the public will be asking, is our husband with disability? My husband is not with a disability. He's a man without disability. But if you still find someone with disability, it's still fine and okay, as long as two of you can cope with it. Like Tommy rightly said, our husband is not blind. Of course, at times I see couples that they are both blind and they're living extreme happy. Do you understand? So whichever one, someone say, let them be doing their thing. They both have disability. That is what you could do. But at times too, the other person can marry the person without disability. But whichever comes, I hope two of you can cope with whatever agreements you have. So just keep yourself open-minded, have value for yourself, and have value for the other person. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Osaki. Having value for yourself, loving yourself. What you don't have, you cannot give. If you don't have love for yourself, how do you expect to love the other person? Really, that's a food for thought for each and every one of us right there from Osaki. And from me, I'll just say that while you wait for that person, that not perfect person, because there's no perfect person anywhere, but while you wait for that imperfect person with whom together you're looking to build a perfect future, continue to develop yourself, continue to grow yourself, continue to love yourself. And like Osaki said, marriage is not the end of the road. It is not an end to in itself. It doesn't stop you. Marriage should not shrink you. The thought of marriage should not make you do things that will not make you happy. Trust me, being a Mrs. in Nigeria or anywhere else in the world doesn't really matter. When they ask for your title, it's just for title's sake. Nobody really counts it as anything. It shouldn't be something that you look for desperately. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't come, do not hurt yourself. Do not dwell on the negativity. And just like we've highlighted here, there are quite a lot of challenges in marriage. So it's not a bed of roses after all. There are days that you wake up and then you're looking at your spouse, how on earth did I even end up PSF? And there are days you wake up and you be like, okay, let's see what today would bring. So it's not like marriage itself is a perfect paradise. It isn't. And so please, whenever you want to go, make sure that you're prepared physically, emotionally, spiritually, and otherwise. Whatever it is you need to put in place, please put it in place. And do not be in a hurry. Do not be too desperate to see that you're walking down that aisle. Be sure within yourself. Be convinced, because that is when you can trust the person. That is when you can express love and receive love in return. Be open-minded as well, just like Osaki has said. And together we are saying that we wish you well in that journey of finding a future partner. And if you already have a partner and you're having issues, and it's looking like because you're a woman with disability, that's why you're having issues. That's a lie. Everybody has one family or marital issue or the other that they deal with. So find a common ground with your spouse, have a conversation, Go for counseling. Being married does not say you cannot go for counseling if you really need to. Go for counseling. Seek spiritual counsel. Pray to God. Do not pray to any man to help you in whatever matters of the heart you are going through. And we wish you all the best, like I said, right here on Bold TV. And that marks the end of our episode this week. Yes, ma'am.
Can I? Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. Just to the young men out there that have found someone with a disability, I will tell you, don't be scared. Yes. Go and take a bold step. You will enjoy it. It's not what you think. It's not what you are saying. Take that bold step and see how far you can go with this person. Hold our hands, hold his hand, and see how far. See the success behind what the feelings you have. I know a lot of no's everywhere, but look at the yes and see how much that can take you. You will always enjoy. There's always a light at the tunnel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Osaki. And that's Osaki talking to young people as well, especially those without disabilities who have found love in persons with disabilities, be it a man or a woman with a disability. It's not a crime. You've not committed any crime. It's not dangerous. It's not a red flag. It's not negative. Just take that bold step and you will enjoy it. I can assure you that you will enjoy it, as the other person will also enjoy it. Bring your A game to the relationship, and he also brings his or her A game into the relationship. And let's join hands together and build that institution called family. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen with or without disabilities that have watched this episode. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. And we hope that you would get across to us if you want to be a part of the program, wherever you are across the world. Thank you so much. And to all our ladies who are not here, the other co-hosts, we love you. Thank you for always being there. Trust me, you're all working behind the scene, doing one thing or the other. Thank you so much, Osaki, for making it together with me today and making this episode a complete package that our viewers would enjoy. I hope that we'll do this again next week, Saturday, same time, 10:30, right here on Facebook and YouTube, Bold TV. Beautiful, outstanding ladies with disabilities television. Until next week, we say bye-bye.
This is Bold TV.